It's like, show me something that money won't help, whether it's to preach the gospel, like you need to buy Bibles. It doesn't cost money. You can do it for free, but money helps to spread anything that you're trying to do for good. And so I would just encourage those of you listening that have struggled with that to remember that money is a tool and in the right hands can be a huge, huge blessing, right? It's like a hammer. You can kill somebody with it or you can use it to build a house.
Come on,
It's a
girl.
really good tool. And that leads me to the thing I would want to encourage anybody with is just make sure that our hearts are in the right place, that our hearts are pure, because with the right heart and with the right person, money can be a huge tool for good. We just have to get in a position and a posture of saying, okay, I have this money that I've been given or that I've been blessed with or that I've worked my butt off for. How can I make it grow so that I can do more to help other people?
Welcome to For His Glory CEO, the podcast for high achieving women like you who have built the business, hit the milestone, checked all the boxes, yet deep down something still feels off. The success is there, but you know God has so much more. I'm your host, Allie. If you're hungry for results rooted in the Word, this is for you. Let's get this party started. Welcome back, everybody. You guys, I am so excited for today's episode. We are guesting right now. I know it's a new thing. And one of the first people I knew that I would have as a guest is my girl, Melissa. I adore her. We actually launched podcasts together. Like, how cool is that?
That's right.
She launched Mandate to Multiply. She's going to tell you all about it. It has just been so fun to listen to her and her cute husband, Jonathan, talk about money, but so much more things about money, basically being
Yeah.
homeless to starting this incredible fund and getting people this extraordinary ROI with the blessing of the Lord on everything they've done. But Melissa, welcome to the show, gorgeous girl. I would love for you to just kind of share a quick story with everyone and who you are with that beautiful. We just did dinner together and I was like, I love your shiny hair and your bright white teeth. She's like, well, I can tell you how to get my shiny hair and my bright white teeth. I got to
Yeah. I'm like, I'll send you the link, girl.
Yes, we should pop them in the show notes because
I
you
need
have
to do that.
the best smile and the shiny.
Aw.
Thank you for being here,
You're so
girlfriend.
sweet. Thank you for having me, Allie. I am honored and excited. And first of all, I just want to honor you and your like obedience and commitment to launch the show. We did launch together, which is so cool. We were, part of the same group for like, we're going to do this. We're going to launch our podcast and we did it. And you're still showing up every week, all the time, so faithfully, so diligently, blessing so many people around the world. Like, how cool is that? Yeah. So I just want to honor you and celebrate you and congratulate you on doing all the things because I know you're blessing so many people with everything that you share.
Thank you, gorgeous. That means a lot.
Yeah, for sure. I don't take lightly anybody using their voice or showing up because it's not easy just to hit the record button, just to use your voice, I know for me, it's like getting the kids situated and people in and out and in their spots. And it's like, oh, this is not for the faint, but we have a mandate, right? We have an assignment, we have a calling. And so our podcast is Mandate to Multiply. And it is basically about multiplying everything in your life that God does in you, through you, for you is not just for us, right? It's so that we can be a blessing to other people, make an impact. So we believe in multiplying our faith, our family, and our finances for the glory of God. And so we talk about that. A lot of our first few episodes, it's a fairly new podcast and we were only launching or publishing bi-weekly. So a lot of our episodes have been a lot about like real, raw, deep story stuff, right? This is who we are. This is where we've come from. But because we know that if our heart is in the right place and if we share our stories to help other people be set free, that's where true impact takes place. But we are also passionate about multiplying finances. Jonathan and I, my husband, started an investment fund. We've been homeless in the past. We've had no money. And then God said, hey, you're multiplying your finances really well. Jonathan learned, the real estate industry, trading, the stock market, and cryptocurrencies. It's very rare for people to be masters of all three different types of investments. That's a gift. And so it was like, all right, well, now it's time to help other people do the same thing. And so we have a hedge fund that we launched launched. And I just want to say this because in the last few weeks, I've had conversations specifically with women, and I realized, oh, I need to help the people that are where I used to be not that long ago. And that is really breaking things down and making it simple and easy. And so I have had conversations with people and they've been like, what is an investment fund? And I'm like, yes, thank you. That's a great question. Because if you would have told me investment fund 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I would have said, oh, that's that thing on Wall Street that other people do, right? That's for them. Like that's not for us. And so just to keep it really simple, an investment fund or a hedge fund or a private investment fund, which is what we do, is we are registered with the SEC, which is the people that are in charge of anywhere money is transferred or money is multiplied or money is managed. Okay. It's a pool of money that we bring together from different people. And Jonathan and I, or specifically Jonathan as the fund manager, we decide where the money goes to multiply. The return from that pool of money being sent out gets put back into the pool of money in larger amounts. And then that is dispersed to the people that invested, which are called limited partners. Real simple, right? That's what an investment fund.
Simple sister.
Yes.
Has anyone heard it that easy? That was beautiful. I love it.
So that's what we get to do. Podcast, investment fund. We have 3 beautiful boys that we have the privilege and honor of raising. They are 7 years old, 10 years old, and 12 years old. 3 boys.
You are such a boy mom. And she's ripped, by the way, you guys. She could literally bench press you, whoever's listening, and squat press you, which I love. And I love that you guys used to own a gym and you're really passionate about high performance habits, which is the name of the game when you're running at the level that you guys are. And you need to be able to be in it for the long game, right? The longevity of being that mom that gets on the floor with the kids, wrestles them to the ground, and then goes, skiing and boating and beaching and all the things.
For
just love that so much. You guys are an incredible couple. And I'm just going to go deep quick because that's what we do. And the first time I got to meet Jonathan, I got to meet your beautiful face right away when we joined a mastermind together. I'm like, oh, we're going to be friends for life. Like, you're my girl for eternity. It was Marissa, Melissa, and Allie. I'm like, MMA, baby, MMA. And Marissa just moved down the street, and now we get to do life together, which we're just praying you.
I love that.
So watch out. Watch out.
That's right.
But I told Jonathan when I heard about what you guys were doing, well, first of all, just congrats to you guys. What you've done is extraordinary. You've been shouted out from the stages of how much ROI you've gotten for your limited partners and just what a blessing you've been to them. And that's just how awesome to be a part of something that God's just breathing on. Yes. But I was telling Jonathan, I'm like, my dad told me forever to invest. And I was just like, no, I'm going to be Mother Teresa, like save all the orphans in the world. Like, no, that's not for me. And I just overcomplicated it for so long. And then there's a sweet little nurse at Rady Children's. And she was like, you ladies are stupid. I'm like, tell me more. She's like, they are matching your investments and none of you guys are doing any of it. You're all working all this overtime, and doing who knows what with your money. But like when they're matching it, you should absolutely start investing it. And I just remember being like, logged right on to Fidelity. I'm like, all right, Jan, do your job. Like, what do we do here? And she just put it in these investments. I remember calling my dad. I'm like, oh, yep, I got a Fidelity. And he's like, well, what do you put in there? I'm like, I don't know. Jan just opened it up and helped me out. And he's like, well, what are you in? I'm like, I don't know, like 2026. I don't know what it was called. It was like some random, like super safe, whatever. But I felt really good about it and knew nothing. And then I just remember when I transitioned out of the hospital, I was like, I think when I got married to Joshua, I was like, yeah, one of the nurses set me up with this thing. I think I have some money in it. And sure enough, the thing was blowing up. I was like, wait, whoa, I got a lot of money.
That's awesome.
Well, I got money in, I don't even know what it was, like a 503c. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Right? But it was just this matching program. So anyway, for those alleys that are ridiculously stupid, as Nurse Jan said, and good for her for saying that. No, but for us in the world that don't understand it or overcomplicate it, like you said, it's not that complicated. Good goodness. How do people even get started, Melissa? The women that are listening that are like, okay, this sounds amazing, but like, where do I even start? Friends, I want to share something that I've actually never shared before, but it's been so transformational for multiple 6- and 7-figure businesswomen that I would be remiss not to share it with you. So I want you to picture this. You're in a room with 10 other women who are running payroll, running teams, making heavy, high-stake decisions, and managing everything. And imagine you bringing your question or your bottleneck to that group of women. Do you think that you can handle things things, which used to maybe take you months, maybe years, in the next 10 minutes. What I found is a lot of us playing at this field, we don't struggle with lack of strategy, motivation, even discipline. We struggle with not having a sounding board in real time with ideal clients and women who truly get the level we're playing at. And that's why I created the Inner Circle for multiple 6 and 7 figure women to play in. It is the community of communities that offers transformations like I've never seen before. And you know what the number one receipt is? We had 100% retention of those clients from 2025 rejoin us for 2026. It's a private, exclusive group and extremely selective as well. But if this sounds like this is exactly what you need, grab the Inner Circle application in the show notes and we'll let you know if you're a great fit. All right, back to the show.
Yeah, I would say first and foremost, our mindset around money is huge, right? Like we have to understand that money is a tool. It doesn't control us. It doesn't define us. It is something that we get to steward, that we get to manage, that we get to make grow, make more of it and make what we have grow and hopefully make it grow for generations to come, right? That's the goal. But if we have like a mindset around it, like I can't put it out there. If you would have thought, well, I can't invest it because what if I lose it? What if it goes away? What if it disappears? And that's a lot of times there's just this, people are just completely adverse to risk. They just don't want to take any risk. And unfortunately, no risk, no reward, it's relative, right? Higher with risk you're willing to take, the more reward you're going to receive, right? Warren Buffett didn't become a billionaire by not investing and not giving out or buying a ton of things, without the assurance. There's no guarantee in investing. So I would say just mindset, knowing, okay, and being a good steward, being smart about it. All right, this is the income that I have coming in. This is what I'm willing to basically part with in hopes and faith that it's going to multiply. Not like I'm going to let it go fearfully. It's like, I'm going to trust, I'm going to put it in the right hands, so just backing up a little, I always suggest that we are not financial planners. My husband and I, we can't tell people how to manage their money or what to do with their money. Our fund is just a tool that somebody can use if they have a certain amount of money that they want to multiply. But I always suggest, meet with a financial planner, have an accountant, just make sure that the way that you're investing your money is, I wouldn't say safe, but that is wise. And then how much your money you're making and how much you're willing to part with and to invest. So first, good, healthy mindset around money. There's so many free resources out there, as far as just how does money work? How is money multiplied? There's a good book we can put in the show notes that I always tell people to read. It's actually a money book that was written by Tony Robbins. And I have not read all of Tony Robbins' things. I'm not like a number one fan of Tony Robbins, nor do I dislike him. But this book specifically is a very good book around money and making money and investing money. And it does challenge, I will say it challenges, which I am a fan of, traditional investing. Not that it is bad, because look, you made a bunch of money putting it in your 401k or investing it through work. Amazing, right? So I'm not saying don't, but there are other ways that this book explores you or implores you to explore and to research and talks about. So it's a Tony Robbins book, and I believe it's called Money Mastering the Game. Great book for everyone to read. My husband tells everybody to read it too. But so start with mindset, start with understanding money, and then start somewhere. And what I mean by that is everyone's always like, where do I do? What do I start? Where do I invest? And it's like, just start somewhere and start small. And it's never too late to start. Okay. And it just depends on how much you have and how much you're willing. I always tell people you can open like you did, if you can open your own Fidelity account via the app, you can open an Acorn account. That's like, okay, I'm going to take $200 a month or however much you feel comfortable with. And I'm going to put it in this account and have it be invested in different stocks. I'm going to open a Coins account and I'm going to buy cryptocurrencies. And I'm like, start somewhere, start small, even if it's a few $100s a month, but do something to where you are having the money that you make grow, not just by working, not just by putting in time, but because you're putting it out there and it's multiplying on its own. And then a non-traditional investment fund like what we have, there are people out there, there are fund managers in private funds and there's a lot of them. We're part of a group that helped us launch our fund. And basically these are people like Jonathan and I who mastered some form of multiplying wealth, whether it's through real estate, whether it's through buying buildings, whether it's through buying, car dealerships. Like there's so many different ways people have figured out how to multiply. They go through the legal process, through all of the paperwork, through all of the proper documentation to do it well. And they say, okay, we are opening this up to other people. And so you may have trusted people like that in your life. Like Jonathan and I are that for the people in our network and for our friends. They get to come to us and say, you are trustworthy. We trust you. We believe you. We know, who you are and we know your heart. And if this is what you're doing and you have all of the legal documentation and you've done this well, we trust you now with this money to go ahead and do what your paperwork says that you're going to do with it.
Yeah.
And that is like the non-traditional route that we take to multiply wealth.
So cool.
Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Yeah. It's hard to tell anybody what to do with their money specifically because everybody's financial situation is so different. But I will encourage you to do something. Ask, do something, start somewhere. It's never too late and you can do something.
Oh, that's so good. I'm forgetting the book that my dad always recommends and Joshua does, but you guys will throw it in the show notes because I finally said to my husband, because my brothers have been great investors, right? And have done really well from themselves. And when we came up on buying our first home here in San Diego at the peak of the market, I was kind of like, man, shoulda, coulda, woulda, put some more money that we could have like bought a house for. Here, my brothers are like buying all their houses, second homes, all the things. Anyway, proud of you, brothers. You're amazing.
That's awesome.
But I remember specifically telling my husband, I'm like, will you just sit with my dad and just like learn, what he's done so well, because he's done very well. He's been a great steward. He's, multiplied lots and been very, very, very extremely generous with his money. So my dad had recommended this book and I will get it to you. But anyway, my husband read the book and he was like, oh, this makes perfect sense. And I was like, well, can you take that over? Like, let's just be smart. And then what did my husband do? Because he's 6.5 years younger and more millennial, he went to YouTube and he started following people on YouTube. And it was just like really simple. And lo and behold, he was able to invest enough for us to buy this home. I mean, not completely the home. We did do some in a mortgage, but it was really a God thing, to be honest. I mean, I don't know how people feel about that, but it was just having the wisdom of the Lord and not like judging it. Like you said at first, mindset, I kind of had a mindset. Like, no, that's like gambling, or like, that's, like, I'm not so sure about that. But then I was like, well, why wouldn't the Lord give us wisdom to be able to do it, to be able to do what we want to do in the kingdom of God and things of God. And lo and behold, it ended up, we were able to get in this home that we needed. And we house a lot of things in this home. We do a Marriage Made in Heaven group. We do our team meetings for our church. We host missionaries. We host pastors, guest ministries. We've done a ton of stuff for our own families. It's just been a huge blessing of the Lord. And it really came from finally just getting the right mindset and just getting around it and being able to invest. So thank you for that. Okay. Next question. You weren't like this money, money, money girl, right? Like this is kind of like, wait, you're asking me to do like, I'm not so sure about this, but the secret of success is the secret of obedience, and you decided to obey. Can you talk to us about obedience and what that's looked like for you and your business and how the Lord's just blessed that obedience?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that some of the things that we're walking in right now, like the hedge fund, like the podcast, it's things that seemingly came out of left field. It was about 2.5 years ago. Jonathan and I were not working together at the moment. We've owned a real estate firm on paper together for 8 years, but I was kind of behind the scenes. My name was on things, but I wasn't fully involved. I was really in the health and fitness and wellness space because I'm super passionate about that. And I was with my boys. And all of a sudden, I just kept feeling this stirring to like get back into business with Jonathan, do things with him again, build with him, do real estate with him. And at first I was like, no, like, no, like heck no, I'm not doing it, because I wasn't passionate about real estate at the time. I wasn't like, I liked it and it, something I have done. I've had my real estate license since I was 18 years old. It wasn't foreign to me, but I wasn't passionate about it. And I just kept feeling the stirring to do things with him. And it was out of obedience. It was out of obedience that I put my boys in school, because we were homeschooling them for a while. I didn't want to put them in school and then start working with Jonathan. And that in and of itself opened the door to like level up in our marriage, to really like prioritize our marriage again after, having little boys and having them with us 24/7 for 4 years, actually 6 years. And then that was what opened the door, putting them in school, working with them in real estate that I didn't want to do. But it was that opened the door to us launching the hedge fund and the podcast together. Both things that were not even on the radar at the time that I actually did get excited and passionate about when they came up.
Yeah.
The hedge fund, not as first. I was like, wait, what? I'm not the money person. Jonathan's the money person, but I do love people. And I do love, like, I'm very excited about generosity, very excited about building wealth in order to make an impact. I love people so much and I love relationships so much that it makes me even more excited to do that for other people, right? It's like, yes, I want us to have resources so that we can be a blessing to other people, but even more so, I want other people to experience multiplication of wealth so that they can be. So that was exciting to me, that part of the relationship building and the bringing other people into this. And so, but if I hadn't said yes to the thing that I was not excited about, we would have never ended up where we are today. So absolutely, obedience was the very thing. Stepping through a door that I didn't want to step through, but I knew God was telling me to, open something else that wasn't even on the radar, but yet we wouldn't have been here. Like if my kids weren't in school, there was no way we would have had the hours that we needed a day to put our heads together, do all the trainings, do all the classes, do all the legal paperwork and everything that we needed. And for me to learn, like, what is this? What are we doing? What is happening? You know,
Right.
Jonathan is fully in his element and I am when it comes relationally, but not so much when it came to the financial aspect. So I had to really go all in and learn essentially a new language. And yeah, so here we are today because of obedience.
I mean, it's the secret to success. So when I see people like you and Jonathan, I always know there was radical obedience behind it. And there's
Yeah,
also radical generosity. Like I watch people,
totally.
I'm definitely like a profiler. I've been, raised in a wealthy family and I've just seen a lot of success. And then I've seen things that I absolutely love and things that I'm like, absolutely no way. But one
Mm,
common thread is generosity amongst
mm,
people. And it's whether they're generous with their time, their money, their resources, whatever it is, there's a generosity thread. And I think that makes people magnetic too. People are like, oh my gosh, this is so
mm.
much bigger than you. And I mean, the truth is, at the end of the day, I was not raised in the church and then I got married into a church, right? Which is an amazing church and an amazing, amazing husband and in-laws and all the things. But some Christians, not my in-laws or my family, but they believe that it's like, no, it's humble to be poor and it's humble
Mm.
to not have and go without and all that stuff. And Paul said, I've been rich, I'm be poor, I'm content in both things. But if we can't even put gas in our own car to get to church, how are we getting gas in our car to go pick up 6 people to let them hear the gospel for the first time, let them have an encounter with Jesus Christ? Like it takes money, right? At the end of the day, it takes money to
For
run all
sure.
of our different missions that we're doing and bringing the gospel into the end of the earth. It takes money, like, and God will do it anyway. He'll bring a coin in a fish's mouth. He'll drop a piece of bread from a raven, right? Like, I'm not saying the arm of flesh is going to do it, but there is a powerful principle, and A, being obedient, and then B, being generous. And I really love the title, and it was really fun because I got to be on like the inside since we were in the podcast accelerator together. And you're like, you guys, what do you think about this name? Mandate multiply, and here's the headshots, here's the covers. What are you guys thinking? The colors, all the type of things. And I just remember it was just a concept. Now it's like, blessing so many people. And it's just like brand spanking new. And it has been very relational. Like the first couple episodes just being like, hey, like literally we were homeless and we didn't know what we were doing. And now, it's like, I think 100K, right? For people to be a limited partner with you. Like it's
Yeah.
really like you're working with some elite people that are
Yeah.
amazing. I know several of your clients, they're just incredible humans. But
Yeah, they
like,
are.
what a crazy great story from not like having
It
like a
is.
roof over your head, being like, I don't know what we're doing, to like, hey, we now have this hedge fund for elite people that want to like. It's just such a cool God story, and I know you give him all the glory, and he could take it away tomorrow, and you'd still be the amazing humans that you are. Your husband's actually a pastor. Your husband has so many credentials. It's
He's the
like
world's most interesting man. I always say, I'm like, you are like a rare gem of a human being.
he really is. And I've just like loved our time together. And, we all got to get on a Zoom together. And I just remember he was challenging me with things. He was actually teaching on the Zoom us in that mastermind. And I was just like, man, so challenging to be around people like that. And I love that. Iron
Oh, for
sharpens
sure.
iron, right? Like
Totally.
get in there, and he's such a man of the word too, which is so 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 important, right? It's our true
Yeah, he
north.
loves the Lord for sure.
Yes. Okay. So let's land it there. So, what is the final thing that you would say to those listening that might feel like, okay, this has been totally simplified? Like, I can simply, put a little here in Acorn, or I mean, we're not financial planners. Golly, no. Read the books. Reach out to your people, your financial planners. But like, what would you
Yeah.
encourage someone that's listening today that's saying, huh, yeah, my mindset has been shifted thanks to Melissa today.
That's awesome. Well, I want to touch on one thing that you said. I just feel really led to just say this about Christians feeling like they can't have money or shouldn't have money, or maybe anybody. I do know that's something that the church has struggled with, but there are people who aren't believers and also struggle with, the concept of having a lot, having too much, whatever. And I've known this truth for a while, but somebody said something to me just a few days ago where it came to getting paid for something. And I had the response of, it's fine. I'm just sharing this with you because I really care about you and because I care about where I'm, referring you to. It's not about the money. And I just so checked in my spirit. And this person even kind of said, I know you're not about the money, but use it to bless another mom or use it to, take somebody out to lunch. And I was like, it just got me. I'm like, of course, and I say this all the time and I had to correct myself. Money is a tool. And so how amazing is it to be able to pay for somebody else's lunch, to pay for somebody's rent, to pay for somebody's groceries, to, donate to single moms, there's just so many things, you name it. And I have not found one problem that not only that not has to be solved with money, but needs money in order to be solved, right? It's like, show me something that money won't help, whether it's to preach the gospel, like you need to buy Bibles. It doesn't cost money. You can do it for free, but money helps to spread anything that you're trying to do for good. And so I would just encourage those of you listening that have struggled with that to remember that money is a tool and in the right hands can be a huge, huge blessing, right? It's like a hammer. You can kill somebody with it or you can use it to build a house. It's a really good tool. And that leads me to the thing I would want to encourage anybody with is just make sure that our hearts are in the right place, that our hearts are pure, because with the right heart and with the right person, money can be a huge tool for good. We just have to get in a position and a posture of saying, okay, I have this money that I've been given or that I've been blessed with or that I've worked my butt off for. How can I make it grow so that I can do more to help other people? That is the bottom line. I always tell people, encourage you to be in the word of God, to pray, because that's my faith and that's what I believe. And my life has completely transformed. Without Jesus, I'm nothing. I'm no one. It's everything it's who I want to be at the feet of. It's where I want to get my wisdom from is him and the word. And so that being said, Matthew 6:33, right? Seek first the kingdom of God and everything else will be added to you. So just be at his feet, be in the word, be in his presence, and then realize that because he can trust you, he wants to multiply everything that's in your life, including your finances. So like I said, open an account on an app. We can link a few options here. Speak to somebody that you trust about multiplying money. If you have, like Allie, if you have that investment account at work, make sure that you're putting money into it. Do not miss that opportunity.
No.
And be open to non-traditional investments. I'll just last final plug for cryptocurrencies. I know there's a lot of different people have a lot of different things to say about it, but the truth is we have a pro crypto government now, whether you like the government or not. And also the really big financial companies that everybody invests with that used to tell you to be afraid of cryptocurrencies or don't invest in them. Well, guess what? Now they're fully on board and they're actually the ones buying it all while it's on sale at the current moment.
Right.
If JP Morgan and other companies are buying, big companies like them are buying something in bulk, like Bitcoin right now, it is because they know something that some of us know and some of us don't. Okay. That is, it's going up. And so that is one of the reasons in our fund, the timing to invest is crucial. It's amazing right now because it's on sale and it's going to go up. And so just be open. We have a podcast episode that teaches about cryptocurrency. Just be open to exploring it and digging into the truth, aside from what anybody might have told you that is negative.
So good, sister.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on here. I mean, you just dropped a lot of wisdom. And for everyone that might have felt like, oh, I don't have a money mindset or, a good mindset around money, I pray that you reach out to Melissa. She's an open book to help you and share anything of her past. I mean, drop into her podcast and you'll be like, wait, are these people for real? What's going on?
Did she just say
here?
that?
Yeah, did he say that? Did they what?
Yeah.
But thank you so much for being on the podcast today, girl. I love you so much and just appreciate you and our friendship so much. You are such a gift.
I love you, Allie. Thank you for having me. It's a privilege and an honor to share with your people. And like you said, I'm here. If anybody has any questions whatsoever, pop into my DMs, find me on all the things, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, my love.
Bye, friend. Thank you.
You've been tuning in to For His Glory CEO podcast, where unshakable faith meets bold business strategy to equip you for your next level. If this blessed you, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it. And if you're a businesswoman that's looking for the right circle to scale big, we got you. Click the show notes and hear more about our For His Glory CEO community, which is one of a kind, amazing. And remember, we're not just building businesses, we're building the kingdom of God. Until next time.